I know everyone's up in arms about what's going on in these United States of America. And I had this thought that came to me not that long ago because you kept watching the particular leader keep doing stuff. And all you could keep saying was, this is very chaotic. This is just ridiculous. Two things popped in my mind. Number one, most of us are not used to dealing with unmetered evil. We can watch it in movies all day long. We can watch it in cartoons. The person is always trying to think of something. Most of us have not lived with that kind of a person. We have not caught in the, been caught in the after waves of the things that they do. And that's where we are. It's one thing for it to be the first term when they were kind of testing boundaries. And be honest, that's what they were. They were testing the constraints of the law and what could really happen. And I remember listening to someone saying that was this country's first opportunity to see how many loopholes we had because we were so accustomed to operating on the honor system, as in, it's a law, it's in the book, so you shouldn't do it. But there was no one who came along and said, yeah, it's a law, it's in the book, but what you gonna do if I do it? Especially if I'm in a position where technically I'm not supposed to get in trouble because I can't be caught not at my desk. I gotta be in position. So that means I can do a few more things and not necessarily pay the penalty like any other person on the street, which is why we're able to see all of these felonies come down, all of these accusations and lawsuits come through, but nothing truly happened because the average person like you and I, we don't have the resources and we don't have the pull to push these things out so far that we're able to put something else in place. And in this case, they pushed it out so far that they were able to run for election again and was able to finagle. And you can't tell me I'm not telling the truth. Finagling. The numbers don't lie. There is no such thing as anyone who's came through and won all the swing states, but back on track. So now you're in round two of a person who has figured out how far they can push the boundaries and not get in trouble. How long will it take for laws to take effect, to kick in? Again, most of us, we get in trouble, and what will happen is we'll end in a court case that will draw out. But some people, it's not that story. So now, court case can draw out. I got 4 years to act up. That's thing number one. Thing number two, looking at it from the standpoint of mental health. When a person has a chaotic brain, nothing is going to make sense and it's not going to be organized. It is not going to come across as, oh, that was a well thought out. No. Chaotic brain people tend to live in disarray. Things around them are not peaceful. They're not harmonious because the brain is so worked up and they don't see anything wrong with it. Initially, you want to say, oh, a narcissistic human being. Put that with the chaotic brain. They kind of go together because in narcissism, you truly don't have an affinity for anybody. You don't have compassion. You don't have empathy. A chaotic brain, that's just disorganized. And I remember hearing all the stories that came out when they left the White House the first time and how they had to do such a deep cleaning because of all the mess that was left behind. Chaotic brains. You've been to people's houses and they don't see nothing wrong. Some of them are full hoarders, some of them are not. But all you can think is, what is going on? You won't understand because you're still operating from, air quote, a normal brain. Chaotic brain can wreak havoc all over the place. They can start fights and start situations because the chaos that's here comes out here in tangible things and we get to see it. So unfortunately, we're in a situation where you have a person who has enough pull and power to push the boundaries of the law. They have a chaotic brain, meaning nothing is going to make sense. Everything that seems like it's going to work up and cause a problem, it's normal for them. So they don't see any problem in it. And then you also have the narcissism, as in there's no empathy. If it impacts a person, if a mother can't feed her children, you go figure that out. You lose your job. Oh, you'll figure that out too. Businesses close down. They'll be all right. Zero empathy. Zero. Because no one else matters except them. and what they want to do, which is why we are now facing the situation we're in that we don't know when it's going to end. All right. And here's the last thing, fourth thing. That is a person who has spent so much time as a child being tortured or anything along the lines that they have got to get revenge on the world. We all had that pee-pee kid. We all did. As an adult, you can look back and be like, oh, it was something going on in the home, because no one would just come to school smelling like urine. But as kids, you don't care. That's a pee-pee kid. Oh my gosh. The pee-pee kid grows up to seek revenge because of all the pain that they went through as that child. So those are the four things that we're dealing with right now. And I don't care what supporter jumps in my comments and tries to defend it. I'm not saying anything that's not factual. I'm not speaking emotionally. I am not speaking about party lines. Nothing to do with any of that. It has to do with human makeup. You studied in school. You study biology. You study human anatomy and what makes us up. These are things that you learn. So we're back to a person who wants to live on revenge. They was the pee-pee kid. They got picked on. So now I got to get it back at everybody. Number two, we see the law can't really get me right now. So I'm going to push the boundaries until someone forces me to stop pushing boundaries, because I'm still trying to get revenge. So I'm going to keep pushing these boundaries and get as much revenge as I can until someone finally makes me stop. And then three, because I'm narcissistic, I don't have the compassion for anybody who is collateral damage while I am doing my get back. All right. And then number four, chaotic brain, as in nothing's going to be organized. Nothing's going to make sense to the average human being. We're all going to look at it like that just is crazy. No, not to them. It isn't. To them, it's norm. So on the upside, we've been through worse. We truly have. It's hard to tell that because when you're in the moment of something, you're like, oh my gosh, what? Just go back in history. This ain't the first thing that's going to be ridiculous, and it ain't going to be the last thing. You just got to figure out how to get through, how to survive. As my grandfather would say, how to keep your head down, handle your business, and keep on moving. That's your goal in life, okay? You can do it. I know you can do it. Don't give up. Don't give in. Keep on going. Now, for those who look at my culture and say, how come y'all not helping? Yeah. We have already been at this for 400 plus years, 500 years. And as one person said in the comments of a particular post, we are in a 400 to 600 year sentence. You are 6 months into a 4-year bid. You got a little way to go. The same way we survived, you will too. And you know how we did it? We stick together. It ain't time to be pointing fingers and who's who and who's your culture, who set you from. It ain't time for that. It's time to figure out commonalities so you can bond together and be able to get through to the other side. You can do it. You just got to figure out how to shift your heart and to recognize the level of mental illness that's at play, and know you got to focus on you and be the best you can, because you can't change anybody else but you.